Hello, we have game three. After two losses, we are trying to salvage some points in this match now. The kingdom here seems to be very straightforward. Masquerade and money seems to be the plan. There is Villa, there is Hamlet to get you plus actions, but the draw is not particularly strong. So I figure Masquerade and money seems a reasonable choice here. I unfortunately open with 5-2, which means I get Masquerade Hamlet instead of Masquerade and Silos, which I wanted. My opponent, the Pixie, they were able to have the 4-3 there, which I think is better than the 5-2 in this instance. There aren't good fives on the board. Then the 2 almost always has to be Hamlet. So the big deal is not getting the Silos early. Silos really gets you through your deck very quickly, lets you see your new buys. Great accelerator for deck development. Here, unfortunately, my opponent did not see their Masquerade. I'll take it after the 5-2, just able to pick up Hamlet. We'll pause here just to catch up. And I do see my Masquerade on turn 4. I bought a second one on turn 3. I have the Hamlet. I figure it's okay. Draw into enough money for Silos here. So I'm reasonably happy now that I have two Masquerades and the Silos, but we'll see how things pan out from here. This is going to be another Masquerade, I believe, for the Pixie. Yeah, so we both have two Masquerades. There's no trouble here with regard to triggering the shuffle because Silos will just get you back around to your Hamlets and Masquerade. So I really had no problems doing that. Here, time for money in the deck now. We'll pick up a silver and move along. Hopefully after silver we get to gold. We should be able to get to gold if we're able to play both Masquerades with Silos around. It seems reasonably likely that we'll get there this turn. So now I do actually feel a little bit ahead. My opponent just passes the estate back to me after the double Masquerade. Because I got the silver first. Here my opponent now gets the silver. Unfortunately for me though, I do not see the Hamlet. I just see a Masquerade and I have to draw dead here. Not happy about that. I was really looking forward to a gold on turn 6 instead. I'll have to settle for a silver. I considered Villa to play the Masquerade here, second Masquerade, but I would probably end up buying a silver anyway, and now there's a Villa in the deck, which isn't that good of a card, I think. I think the silver is better, especially for, well, the vision that I have, which is Masquerade and money mostly. So I do get a silver, and my opponent does get the good draw on this turn there. They are able to see both their Masquerades and get up to 6. But here I think they make a slightly inaccurate buy. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but just in my opinion anyway. They go for a Raider instead of the gold. Now, let's pause. I understand why the Raider was bought. The attack purpose, of course, and it gives you money every other turn. But I don't think the attack is ever going to prevent me from hitting province. So I will see how that pans out for the rest of the game, the Raider. Here now, I am going to take my opportunity to get a gold. I was reasonably happy to see them buy a Raider instead of a gold there. Now, plan from here is probably to get one more gold, maybe two, probably just one more gold, and then hit the provinces. Temple is the only source of extra VP, and that is uncomfortable with Masquerade passing all these coppers and estates around. Another silver for my opponent, and they do make me discard a silver there. So let's look at this turn, see how impactful that was, right? So they do, well, not make me, but I opt to discard the silver to keep my draw cards around. So I drop the silver and then I drop a gold here. A bit unfortunate draw, but I needed to drop it for the actions. And I am only able to get a silver here. So that Raider did hurt me. If not for it, I would have bought a second gold here. Okay, so far the Raider has done something, I would say. Silver is not terrible, but I wanted the gold, I'll take the silver playing a money strategy, of course. Now, my opponent here, the Pixie, I think they do go for a gold on this turn. Let's see. Let's see. So I thought it would be a second Raider, but I think they get a gold. Let's skip ahead. Masquerade once. And do they Masquerade another time? They take the buy from the Hamlet here, which is interesting. I think they have, yeah, 8, and they get a gold and another Hamlet. The other Hamlets are fine. They, I guess it makes the deck more reliable. You get to play both Masquerades more often. I don't really care about that. One Masquerade in this size of deck is usually enough to get you to Province. I have Province here, and I stopped trashing my coppers at this point in the game. I would like something to pass over to my opponent with these Masquerades. So second gold instead of Province there, like I wanted on the turn prior, but I get it now, and I feel like, okay, 3 silver, 2 gold, a couple copper floating here and there. That's probably the way to go. Pass across the Hamlet. I don't need it. They passed me a silver, actually, so that was slightly uncomfortable for both of us, but at the end of the day, look what happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. The Pixie is able to draw the whole deck though, and they go now for Raider number 2. Discard the Hamlet. So there, Raider came out, didn't prevent me from buying a Province. Right, so that part, it didn't work out. We're just keeping track, just for my own sanity too. Maybe the Raider was better, I want to know. Alright, so now they are able to have sustained Raider attacks for some time here. Copper gets exchanged for a silver, and they do buy a Province. So 1-1 on the provinces here. I happily discard my Collided Masquerade, draw into Province. That Raider was actually helpful. So far 2 out of 3 I would say is in my favor. I get to second Province. So 2-1 on the Province count. We're coming down to the end here. Masquerade. I'll pass back that Hamlet happily. I don't need it, like I mentioned before. I'm perfectly happy with just 2 Masquerades in this size of a deck. So we pass the Hamlet across. We have no Hamlet now. They have 4 Hamlets. And they do get up to Province number 2 as well. Raider attacks. I do discard the silver instead of the Masquerade. The reason is Masquerade is draw 1, plus Masquerade might make my opponent uncomfortable if they draw no coppers in their hand. But I don't get it right in this case. I don't get the uncomfortable pass, just copper the copper, and I have enough money for a duchy. Not getting to the Province there. So maybe that Raider did hurt me. Yeah, it did keep me down from Province there. So that's 3-2 on the Raiders, I think, if I am counting properly. Anyway, double Masquerade for my opponent. That will put them up to Province, and they do play another Raider here. Drop the Masquerade this time, because I have 8 in hand already. So that one didn't hurt. And 3-3 on the provinces. I have the duchy up. So very tense position here. I have Province in hand, even if I pass across the silver. It depends on what the Pixie decides to do here. They may choose to get us a duchy instead of the penultimate province, or they may get the penultimate province and hope that I don't have enough money to pick it up. So I pass the silver across. They pass me a Hamlet. I am going to pass them back the Hamlet and receive not my silver back, but instead a copper. Yeah, so I did lose a little bit of money there, but still province money in hand. I can't threaten it if I want to. They get a villa here, which I don't know why they got the villa there. I was a little bit intrigued by that villa, but they got the villa to play some more Hamlets, obviously, and probably to find the gold, I guess. And they buy duchy, so they don't buy province, right? So the points are level, 3 provinces and a duchy each. Now the Raider attack comes in there, does make me discard my silver, so it does knock me down from province there, right? Now let me just so actually I should pause before. So just I had a copper in my hand, right? I used silos to change it to silver. Now I should have thought a little bit more about turning that copper around. Because here, maybe all I want to do is buy a duchy. Maybe I don't want to buy the penultimate province and leave a potential win open for the Pixie. Maybe I don't want to do that. In which case, $7 is enough to do that. I don't need to go looking for any more money in the rest of my deck. On the other hand, if I want the penultimate province, look at the turn player, by the way. I'm second player, so the Pixie will need province plus at least estate to win the game. So that is 10 money. 2 buys as well. The buys they can get with the hamlet or even the villa. That's no problem. But the 10 money, I wasn't sure if they could do that. I know they have a radar down that they will get 3 from that radar on the next turn, but they still need to get 7 more coins, which is a lot. They have 2 silver and a gold. They have less treasure than me. So I take my chances here. I decide to go for the province. I think it's too difficult for them to get province plus estate to win the game. The safer play might be duchy, but then I was also considering the state of my deck moving forward. I won't be able to play those masquerades as freely, maybe because they won't come close to the coppers anymore. So getting province after this, I thought might be difficult for me, especially in the shuffle. I don't think it's happening at all. Both my gold are here. So I take my chances. And also another point to consider here, if they do have the 10 and 2 buys, right, and I buy duchy, they get double duchy in that instance. So they go ahead of me by 3 points there. I might be able to pick up a duchy after that, but then I'm a little bit behind on the duchy split. Eventually, it might boil down to being even, and then we get back to, do you take the penultimate province or not? But I decided not to go down that road, trying for an equal share on the duchies. I took my chances here. I thought it was difficult for them to get there. They need to see 10 coin. They have 3. I know they need to get the buys. They probably need to see their gold. They only have the 1 gold. But guess what happens? You already know. Dominion is Zalima. Cruel game sometimes. They find the 10 and the 2 buys to win the game. So I felt a little bit robbed here. I don't know what the percentages were. How likely was this to happen for them? Maybe my play was just wrong because it wasn't in my favor to work out. But I wasn't happy with that result because I thought, okay, I played the opening 5-2. I played out of that. I thought I made good choices. I wasn't unhappy with anything that I did up until that last turn there. And then I get punished at the end of it all. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.